different musical tastes and interests, I guess, is where it starts, and we like to fuse those into what we do. Like today, we have a harpist on stage, which is completely from his background, and then all the dance stuff is in mine. So we try and find a cool middle ground to create something new and fun. Again.
Yeah, actually, he got the harpist for our show and said, hey, can you do anything with this? And I was like, all right, let's put something together. You just start writing. But I think one of the things that really dictates music these days is really different genres coming together. So I think it actually works really well for us, where we can draw from our different backgrounds. He really educated me about dance music and electronic music, and I bring a lot of the classical stuff to the table. So, you know, we kind of like have so many influences that we can draw from whenever we're creating something new, and it usually works out pretty good.
In terms of the music itself, I guess it was an education of these songs are the foundations of this. And it's funny, we always joke, the only song I ever knew when I met him was Sandstorm. So one day we're actually going to play it in a show and just, it'll come full circle at that point. But everything, I mean, I guess I kind of grew up around it, and showing him all that stuff was the beginning. And there's a lot more structure to it than, at least in my understanding of playing at Carnegie Hall. So yeah, just teaching him the basics on that front.
The big thing was he took me out to EDC a week after we had met, and I mean, literally I came straight from music school and playing for very old audiences, and then we go up to EDC and we see Tiesto, and it was just like overwhelming. It was like, oh my goodness. And I think that was kind of what kickstarted, like, okay, this exists, this is tight, I want to try this. And he started out sending me 4 tracks that kind of got the ball rolling. What
I mean, we are in the progressive-y kind of world, so it was Avicii and Swedish House Mafia, and this was now 4 or 5 years ago, maybe? I don't even remember. And so that's the kind of music we write in. We're lucky enough to have worked with some of those guys down the line, which is pretty cool. But if you want to, for me, Daft Punk is everything and anything, so that's the starter pack for me, and you build from there, I guess. I don't know, what are the starter songs for you?
Well, that's what got me going, was exactly what you sent me. And then, like, these days, it's all about really trying to explore a lot of things outside of dance music. It's shifting so much. So now it's almost like trying to reacquaint myself with all this stuff I should have been listening to growing up that I never was. And it's so embarrassing, because they'll be like, oh, yeah, this is like that Eagle song. And I'm like, I don't know, is it a bird? I don't know. I think it took a little bit of time to really like know that we were going to do this for real. He introduced me to the music, and I was messing around because I was also trying to score music for film and television. So we'd sort of split our time. I'd send him tracks. He'd be like, that's a little too crazy. This works. This is okay. And then over time, we started to put our stuff online. You get a fan response. And then after about 1.5 years or so, it was like, all right, let's take this seriously. Let's really try and give it like a whole push. And then everything just kind of develops from there. But it's a pretty organic relationship, because I'm super crazy and weird. He's very calm and under control. So I'll just write him like, I don't know what's going on, man. The kick drum's not working here. And he's like, relax. It doesn't matter. just work on something else. And I'm like, okay, thanks.
I'm sure in the couple minutes here, you can already see the complete different dispositions between the two of us.
That one was one of the major ones, working with Steve Angello for Children of the Wild, because like we said, that was in the starter pack of songs he sent me. So to go from like 3 years before just having him pull you into the music, and then you're sitting in a room with him and he plays something and he goes, what do you think about this? Should we do this? And I'm like, oh, you're the master. I don't know, like whatever you want. He was really genuine though. He was so sweet with us. One of the most memorable nights of my life in this music world is working with him all night long, and then he goes, you want to go back to my place? Like, I'm having spaghetti with my family. Like, I roll over, there's like 19 Swedish people. Nobody's speaking English. She's like translating for me. And then we drive back to the studio late at night. Above and Beyond was there. Like, it's just so magical to be such a fan. You try and act cool, but you're totally not cool the whole time. And to just make music together. So that collaboration specifically was a big milestone for us in terms of where we came from, where we'd like to go, and just working with an icon for us. We have a new single coming out. I think in a week we're going to start teasing it. It's a really important one for us. It's kind of a new sound, and it's embracing a new style for us. One of the big things that we love is songwriting, and I sing a lot of our songs too. And since this is a little unique for some EDM acts, we're kind of taking the content of the songs as more singer-songwriter based and indie based. So this is a very cool personal story-based song, and we've got that coming out next week, so we'll see how that goes. And then in the future, we're trying to wrap together an album right now on Ultra, and working with a whole lot of cool writers and artists. Like, LA is so great because it's just rife with amazing musical people, and we're rarely working with guys that make the music that we make. We're working with people that are way outside of the boundaries to kind of like bridge those genres like we were talking about. Hey guys, we're Mako and this is Grammy Pro.